Now, what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to be doing it in live time as well on a play system, just so you can see how relatively easy it is. So I'm just going to flick over now to my folder and start the first step. So the first step is simply taking a copy, just a straight copy and paste of our ice.fdb file. So there's my file there. Right click, copy. I'm just going to put it in here for now. Actually, I think I've got a Olden Copies folder and paste it in there. So he'll pop over there very quickly. Okay, so now I've just taken a simple copy. Next, we want to start our actual backup process. We come down to our utility files, open them up, SYSDBA, master key. And for all of you, you will be on a TCP IP environment. Because I am a standalone desktop, that is why my protocol is pointing to local. And we need to specify where is that ICE database that I'm using, and that is in here, and OK. So as soon as that opens, I come onto database and I go to backup. It's prompting me, where do I want to save my .fbk file? And that's right, I want it to go to this location. I'm happy with that. I'm going to ignore my transactions. I'm going to save, and I'm going to go OK. It's now asking me, where would I like to save my .txt file? I'm going to pop it in here, and it's my backup on the 291012. And my backup is starting. So I'll come back to my PowerPoint now, and we'll resume from there. Oops. Get back to resume slideshow. So the next step is doing the restore. So as I said, this is where we're going to be converting the backup copy we've just taken, and we're converting it to a new FDB file. FDB standing for Firebird Database. So again, it's done through a utility file. But before we can do that, we need to actually rename our existing ice.fdb file. That's because this restore process is going to create a brand new one. And if you fail to rename your existing one to old, your restore process will error, because the system will say, hey, you've already got an ice.fdb file. How can I create a new one? So we're back into our IceLive folder. We locate our ice.fdb file. We right-click, and we rename it to iceold.fdb. Because once we've actually done the process, we will be deleting this old file. So back into our utilities file, and instead of actually going in and opening it up, the system now knows that there's not an active ice.fdb file at the moment, and you will automatically see this dialog box. Using the hourglass icon in the bottom right-hand corner, we click on that, and this is where we commence doing our restore. Now, this options dialog box can be a bit confusing to people, but really all it's saying is, where's the backup copy you just took? Tell me the path of where I'll find it. And the database path, where do you want to save the new FDB file I'm going to make from this backup copy? So the backup path is, where is that backup FBK file we just took? And the database path is simply, where do you want to put it? So it would be in your IceLive folder. In terms of the defaults, this one, we just leave it default, excluding for the select verbose output, because this too will save a .txt file that is of assistance to us when or if there is an error while doing your restore. So the restore process is simply ensuring that there's no errors in your database, ensuring the database is stable, etc. Clicking OK, it's going to prompt you again, where do you wish to save your TXT file, and then the restore will automatically happen. Now, your restore is the one process that could take a few hours. Now, this is also why, as all of you have chosen to do your own upgrade for the next-gen OIC upgrade for the first, it is imperative that you do this after you've finished trading on the 31st. Because if your database, you might have been in business for 5 or 10 years, maybe you haven't done a restore in a considerable amount of time. If you come in and started at 7 o'clock in the morning and your database then takes 4.5 hours to restore, you're hampering your store trading on that day. So we really do recommend that as soon as you've finished trading on the evening of the 31st, you do your backup, restore and upgrade that evening. And worst case scenario, should there be an error or an issue, you have time to hopefully get it actioned by us on the support desk, either on that afternoon, evening, or first up in the morning of the 1st before you're needing to trade. So I can't stress that one enough. And the same rule applies. Even if you should see the message not responding or appears to have just hung, do not cancel it. Do not force shut down your system. It's just that the system is working through the motions. You will know that the restore has successfully completed because this dialog, that previous dialog box will close, and this is what you will view. Okay? So from here, we'll just flick back to my system. Oops, there it is there. So my backup on this particular system only took 2 minutes 13. So I know I now have a backup copy. So I'll exit out of here. I'll go back into my ICE folder. The first thing I need to do is rename my ICE FDB file, because there's my backup copy we've just taken. I'm going to rename it to ICE old. So now I've got my backup copy. Oops. I've got my ICE old renamed and my backup. I'm going to come back into utilities. SYFDBA, master key. Now, I need to restore my database. So I want to convert my FBK file I've just taken to a new FDB. So, where is my FBK file? There it is there. Where do I want to put my new? And I want to put it in the same location. And I'm going to save my text file and click OK. And this one is my restore. Oops. And save. And my restore is now going. So I'll come back to my PowerPoint. So once we've done the restore, we can actually go back to our backup copy and remove it from our iSlive folder and put it into our backups. It is so important that you do keep at least the last 3 or 4 backups, just in case anything ever happens to your system and we do need to reinstall a previous backed up copy. So for those of you that have got backups going all the way back a zillion years, you can delete them because all they're doing is taking up space on your system. Just be sure that you've got at least the last 3 or 4. Also remember, put it onto an external hard drive, put it onto a USB. Try and remember to always take your backup copy off-site as well, so that if anything does happen to your site or your system, you've always got another copy of your backup ICE database.